talk about accountability in the middle of a workout. So, excuse that. Thinking about an incident today. One of the guys that I asked to remove from the house got onto a post where another guy shared my website or my Facebook page, just advocating for the sober living. And this kid and there was a conversation going with him and another guy. Oh, what's it like? Nice house? Are you there? Blah, blah. Good, positive conversation. In comes dude that I'd asked to leave, I don't know, last week, whatever. Didn't relapse. It wasn't drug or drinking related, but he just went out and did something really stupid. Put the house in danger. I was a sponsor too. He should have called me. Scenario that I've been through almost exactly. And he calls me saying, oh, nobody can relate, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is, had to make a decision, put me in a spot where I had to act, and the right decision was to remove him from the house. I asked him to leave. Didn't even collect rent. Let him keep his money. He basically lived there for a week and a half for free. Keep your money, just get out, right? There was even a point with this kid where, say kid, he's like in his 30s, just new in recovery, emotionally, just, you know, stunted, acting childish, really, no other word for it. There was a point where, you know, he's like, hey, I've got nowhere else to go. And I was like, all right, so I didn't want to kick him out on the streets. And when I found out I hadn't cashed his rent check yet, it's like 2 weeks of rent. I said, do you know what, just keep it, hang on to your money, move out. Totally fair, the whole thing. Wasn't happy about his decision, wasn't happy about having to ask him to leave, but it was the right call, I had to do it. Anyways, he jumps in out of nowhere on this social media chain with somebody sharing my site, advocating for my program, my house, and puts an emoji that basically was like a negative, haha, you know, alluding to how my house sucked or wasn't good or something like that. And I asked him about it. I called him out on it. Hey, what does this mean? Is this related to me asking you to leave? Or, you know, why would you bash me and my place or my program? And I tried calling him, got voicemail, asked him to call me so we could talk about it. And he replies back, you know, oh, you called me some names and I don't want to talk to you. And I don't know, basically he ended up deleting that post. Thank goodness, because really it's uncalled for. There's no need to start bashing me and my program and, you know, stuff like that. But that's the point. It actually brings me to the point of this. I've noticed this with several of the guys that I've asked to leave. My goal, and I believe if you ask the other guys, my kids even, like, I try to be fair in every single transaction, make sure they understand, like, does it make sense why I'm doing this? Do you understand the position I'm in? Can you see why what you did created this consequence? And now, you know, it's that type of thing. Like I said, the guys in the house with my kids, so, you know, I believe that's how I interact. And you ask anybody that lives there, it's kind of the same consensus that I'm getting as far as feedback. So, anyways, you know, what I've noticed with several guys is there's this zero accountability factor. So when they screw up, whether they go out and they relapse or do something stupid that requires that I have to make a decision that I don't want to deal with, but I have to, ultimately asking them to leave. In 3 out of the 4 of those instances, if not a little bit more, I think 3 or 4, they have turned around, taken zero accountability for their actions and say, oh, well, you know, the guys in the house weren't, I even had one guy say the guys in the house weren't smart enough for me. Like, they weren't on the same intellectual level. You know, this kid went out and, you know, wrecks his car the night before, comes home wasted, doesn't remember the whole night, probably got a DUI. I don't know. He's out of the house. You guys aren't as smart. You know, really? You're the smart one? Yeah, but, you know, and then it comes, well, you know, there's just things about the house I didn't like. My sober living's a beautiful home. It is a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood. Minimal amount of guys in there. It's not what I do for a living. I have a job. I am focused on quality, not quantity. The core of the guys there are phenomenal guys doing very well in their life, in their recovery. It is a wonderful environment, especially compared to what else is out there. It's really hard to find a good sober living home, and I take a lot of pride in the quality of program that I offer, all of the additional enhancements, the job resources, everything. It's a great home. There's just, you can't deny it. And the only people that say that it's not are the guys that go out and screw up and do something stupid or drink or relapse, whatever. There are the guys that slip up, adhere to the program stipulations with the 72-hour rule, come back, pass their test, make amends, own it, and that's great. You know, they're human. That's what it's about, you know, one guy specifically. Very proud of the way he's handled his mistakes. Complete ownership. You know what it makes me think about is, what would your family, what would the families of somebody in New Recovery, what would their kids want me to say? This is what it drives me to. Same thing with sponsees. What would your family, what would their family want me to say? And that's what I try to do. Call them out on the crap that maybe the family just can't quite see. Or maybe the family's enablers and they don't know it. They're great people, I'm sure. Quite often there's a million different circumstances. The kids don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. So I feel this pressure, like I'm the guy, I'm in the position where I need to call out what I see as clearly and concisely as I can. It's hard not to get emotional about it. It's impossible not to cuss through it for me, you know. I try not to be like, to cross the line where it's just like, you know, mean or abusive or anything like that. But seriously, when somebody goes out and does something stupid, it's really hard for me not to say that was really effing stupid, right? And so, you know, maybe I should work on that. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's effective. I don't know. But all I know is there is this level of accountability, again, the point, that really is disgusting when it's completely ignored and you start deflecting and blaming everybody else around you. It's just typical addict behavior. And you know what? I feel sorry for the families having to deal with it, because I get to remove it from the program. I get to take it out of my life. Families have to deal with it. If you're that guy that does not have the ability to be fully accountable for your actions and find that deep, pure, honest, intellectual, constitutional honesty that's required to not only stop using and drinking, but to have a fulfilling and successful life, you know, that is what is required. You have to be brutally honest with yourself, you know, and until you get that, you're not going to get life, man. You're in for hard knocks, and good luck out there, you know. All right, thanks.